Today's public hearing, Monday, January the 21st, 2019, 4 p.m. in council chambers. First I will read a statement of the chair. This public hearing is convened pursuant to Section 464 of the Local Government Act, RSBC 2015, to allow the public to make representation to council respecting matters contained in Zoning Amendment Bylaw number 1085.113 2018. Every person present who believes that their interest in property is affected by the proposed bylaw shall be given a reasonable opportunity to be heard respecting matters contained in the proposed bylaw. None of you will be discouraged or prevented from making your views known. However, it is important that you restrict your remarks to matters contained in the proposed bylaw. When speaking, please proceed to the microphone and commence your remarks by clearly stating your name and address. If they wish, members of council may ask you questions following your presentation. However, the function of council at this public hearing is to listen to you rather than to debate the merits of the proposed bylaw. In accordance with the council procedure bylaw, presentations by members of the public shall be limited to a maximum of 5 minutes each. If a person has additional information that he is unable to provide within that time, he shall be given further opportunity to address council after all other interested members of the public have been heard a first time. Please refrain from applause or other expressions of emotion during this public hearing so that we may ensure as impartial a hearing as possible. After this public hearing is adjourned, council members will not speak to the public on this matter until after the matter has been dealt with at a public meeting. After this public hearing has concluded, council may, without further notice, give whatever effect council believes proper to the representations made at this hearing. I will do a confirmation of advertising and posting requirements. Notice of this public hearing was given in accordance with the Local Government Act and the Community Charter by distributing the notice as follows. Publishing in 2 consecutive editions of the Osoyoos Times on January the 10th, 2019 and January the 17th, 2019. Placing the notice on the bulletin boards in the town office and Planning and Development Services Department on January the 9th. Posting the notice on the town's website on January the 9th, and distributing via e-news on January the 11th. And the summary of the staff report: the purpose of this meeting is to seek public input on Zoning Amendment Bylaw number 1085.113 2018, which received first and second readings on December the 7th, 2018. The Zoning Amendment Bylaw number 1085.113 2018 proposes to add retail cannabis sales as a site-specific permitted use for the subject property legally described as Lot 11, Block 760, District Lot 2450S, SDYD, Plan 2450, located at 8322 Main Street. Thank you. I will now ask Ms. McKay to read the zoning report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. So the Liquor and Cannabis Regulation branch of the province of British Columbia will not issue a private retail license without local government approval. The provincial licensing process, coupled with the site-specific zoning provision, will allow for a one-step process for consideration of cannabis sales in the town. Specifically, comments received through the rezoning process will be provided to the province for consideration during the provincial licensing process. The LCRB has produced the Cannabis Retail Store License Terms and Conditions, a handbook for the sale of non-medical cannabis in British Columbia, as a guide for retail store license holders. This handbook sets out the conditions of retail licensing. The guidebook has been attached to this report for information purposes. The handbook addresses a number of specific issues which may be of concern to our community, including service training, store layout, security, and display of goods. These items are not, therefore, discussed in this report. Site context and proposal. The applicant is proposing to open a retail cannabis store at 8322 Main Street. This property has remained vacant for a number of years, aside from occasional office use. Now, the picture in the report shows the outside of the existing building to be used for maple leaf greenery. Policy context. Zoning Bylaw 1085. The text amendment is required as cannabis retail sales are not a permitted use within the town of Osoyoos. At the October 15, 2018 meeting, Council adopted Zoning Amendment Bylaw number 1085109, which added the following section to the zoning bylaw. Council may approve a rezoning application for cannabis sales as a site-specific permitted use in the C1 downtown commercial, the C2 shopping center commercial, and the C3 highway commercial zone, with consideration of policy PLA-019 and any other additional information Council deems appropriate, including all or some of the information required through the provincial licensing process. Accordingly, the applicant has submitted an application to rezone the property located at 8322 Main Street. It is within the C1 downtown commercial zone. Official Community Plan Bylaw. As per Section 10.4 of the OCP, Osoyoos has been fortunate to maintain its traditional downtown Main Street, which is a major attraction for residents and tourists alike. Accordingly, the downtown has its own unique OCP land use designation and zone. The OCP policies promote an attractive and dynamic mix of complementary downtown uses and encourage a variety of businesses to locate in the downtown, including retail and service businesses, financial institutions, government and professional offices. Housing above commercial floor space, arts and culture events, activities, and inviting public spaces. Additional policies seek to retain and promote businesses to locate in the downtown area and discourage outward migration of businesses to other areas. The proposed use of this property for a retail cannabis store is considered to be in conformance with the OCP policies. Analysis Policy PLA-019. At the September 4, 2018 meeting, Council adopted the Cannabis Retail Sales Site-Specific Rezoning Considerations Policy. The intent of the policy is to ensure all rezoning proposals are reviewed based on the same criteria. Now, the policy does speak to parking, and as you can see in the photograph, the rear of the building provides for on-site staff parking. Customer parking is available at the Town of Osoyoos day-use parking lot at the corner of 78th Avenue and 85th Street. Additional on-street parking is available on Main Street and 85th Avenue, as it is for customers of other downtown businesses. The subject property is not on a route that children take to school. The rationale for recommendation is as follows. Staff is of the opinion that this location is suitable for the proposed use and will enable a new business to be established in our town. Implications for the community: to promote an attractive mix of complementary commercial uses to benefit the community and provide service year-round and support continued commercial growth within a limited land base. Organizationally, the rezoning process requires a public hearing. Should the amending bylaw receive third reading, it would then be placed on hold until such time as the town is notified by the province that the applicant has been successful in obtaining the necessary approvals from the province. The applicant will also need to comply with any additional requirements as may be required through the business license program. A development permit for forming character will be required if changes are made to the exterior of the building. Staff will bring forward the details of this permit for Council's information at the time of final adoption of the amending bylaw. There is no impact to the budget associated with the report at this time, and the item would be placed on a future Council agenda for consideration. Sustainability town policy for commercial growth includes avoiding sprawl development, and there are no options provided at this time.
Thank you very much, Ms. McKay.
Thank you.
And I do not think that we have any correspondence. There's no correspondence received. Thank you. Therefore, the next thing that we're going to do is ask if the applicant would like to make a presentation. And if so, would you come up to the microphone, please? Thank you. State your name and address.
Hi there. Good afternoon, Mayor, councillors, and residents of the Soyuz. Firstly, thank you for accepting my rezoning application and letting me speak today. My name is Jana Howardson. My company is Maple Leaf Greenery, and I am the applicant for a regulated private retail cannabis store located at 8322 Main Street. I'm here to welcome all input today and let you know that Maple Leaf Greenery is wide open to any ongoing refinements of community policy or as we move forward in this new era. A bit about me. I've been working in all aspects of retail for over 40 years. Since 2006, I've been working for a company called Pacific Northwest Garden Supply. They're the largest hydroponic company in the Pacific Northwest. My job managing one of their 8 stores has really enabled me to have an extremely unique perspective, sort of a bird's eye view of the entire cannabis industry, which is unusual. I have serviced quite a few of the federally approved licensed producers in the Lower Mainland, providing them with a plethora of non-cannabis items, such as lighting and air systems, feed programs, all those sort of things to help them with their latest equipment for their facilities, which is super interesting stuff and not what you would think. So the past 13 years, I've really seen the cannabis industry evolve from a black to a gray market and then to medical. And now it's a federally legal Canadian market. So it's from hydro stores to medical facilities to licensed producers and now even to these new age test labs. I've been really fortunate to see all of it, and I'm pretty grateful. It's opened a lot of opportunities for me in this new era. So now I've decided to assemble a team of responsible folks, and we're pretty excited to be part of this new regulated retail cannabis sales. So on that note, having a good working relationship with the Liquor and Cannabis Regulation Branch is really essential, and it differentiates us from both the medical and the illicit markets. We are not a marijuana dispensary. We are an education-based, provincially regulated retail cannabis store. So it's retail cannabis store. One of the most important parts I took when I read your Soyuz One community plan was to avoid urban sprawl. So I get it. It's pretty difficult for a town to be seen as vibrant when you have empty, lonely-looking shops on Main Street. So when looking for a location for our new modern government model, it just made sense to sort of support that. So also, in order for a retail business to create long-term stability, as you know, it needs to be on a vital corridor, pedestrian and vehicle-friendly, for residents, tourists, and the passing through commuters as well. So I was looking for an ease of accessibility and plenty of parking. So, although considering multiple locations, in order to be in complete compliance with the strict common sense conditions set out by the town of Osoyoos and the LCRB, I was looking for all those things listed, but also a location that was away from residences, away from children and schools, away from community centers, and away from parks or anywhere young people gather. So that really narrowed it down a lot further. Next, I needed a place with a good amount of customer parking, staff parking, handicap space, and also an off-the-street receiving area was quite an important thing, I figured, as well. 8322 Main Street actually was the perfect location for that I could find. Between the street, the public lots, the parkades, the alleys, I've counted on my hands about 75 parking spaces potentially within the 1 block radius, with extra spots pretty much all the way down to the White Sands area. Also, it's near all the major resorts, And, you can expect to receive a lot of foot traffic, too, from the local hotels. As a retailer, aside from servicing the main community and the summer tourists, my extended goal is to capitalize on the through commuter traffic. So getting people to stop here in the Soyuz en route to their destination is kind of crucial to bring extra dollars to the town. And I figure if I can get them to stop here on Main Street to check out our trendy new retail cannabis store, chances are good that they maybe might be able to see some other interesting shops, grab a bite to eat, check out the Wander store, the hardware store. I'm all about cross-marketing. So any chance you can cross-market always equals extra dollars to the town, and it's something that we can all do. It doesn't cost any money. For employees, Maple Leaf Greenery will be providing some decent paying local jobs to the community. But of course, all the employees will have to pass the required security clearances and take the mandatory responsible service training course that the province is putting out. But in addition to the provincial training, I'm going to be providing ongoing education for all staff members because we'd like to over-deliver on service and providing, so we...
Sorry,
Good?
go ahead, that's Councillor
Okay.
Rhodes. No.
Okay, so we can create positive, repeat customers, obviously, is really important. Also, thought that I had was that it was going to be mandatory for staff to partake in some community events, such as like the shore cleanup, stuff like that. For security, nuisance, Maple Leaf Greenery will not tolerate any nuisance, period. So as such, I'm going to be appointing a specific safety and security manager. Our good neighbor policy promotes mutual respect and safety for where we work and live. Our added lighting, and we'll have constant camera surveillance, both inside and outside of the store, as well as front and back. That will provide additional safety benefits for us and our neighbors, and maybe helpful to the local police on occasion, I'm not sure. But inside we'll have a social responsibility information station located by the entrance, and beside each POS terminal, a sign, please respect our neighborhood, regarding smoking/vaping now, with the Town of Osoyoos Control Bylaw number 1278/2011. Hours of operation, that was another one. Working with the LCRB's recommendations, I have decided to go with their standard 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. This allows the maximum hours to capture sales during the peak season, like June, July, and August. Now, that being said, a lady from the province did inform me that the Town of Osoyoos has the option to override the province on this point and may tailor my hours for the off-season, September through May, to a more seasonal hour range, as you guys prefer, maybe 11 to 7 or 8 p.m., something like that. So I'm just happy to comply with whatever hours you see fit, obviously. What else? Forecasters are saying that the new retail cannabis industry may end up paralleling the wine industry. I'm positive that with all the wine around here, it probably would be a pretty good place to start. It'd be a natural fit for us. In conclusion, Maple Leaf Greenery would be proud to be part of such a progressive community. You are one of the first ones here. And a lot of folks here seem to be embracing a lot of more safer alternatives to opioids and big pharma, along with their harsh side effects. So we'd like to be the cannabis store that you're comfortable sending your nana to. All the big companies are all getting into the game now. Molson, Coors, Heineken, and Corona have all been actively working on creating non-alcoholic beers and spirits, infusing them with cannabis, and they're touting them as a safer alternative to alcohol. Also, Coca-Cola and Pepsi are working on a CBD health drinks, which should be legal for sale sometime in the next year. CBD being the new non-psychoactive, won't get you impaired, therapeutic superfood, so they say, of the future. That's being infused into drinks, skin creams, you name it. So they're making it now. All their engineers, chemists, all their PhDs are looking at CBD to be helpful with many common ailments. So there's a lot of exciting things in the future, and I'm pretty pleased at the opportunity to maybe bring retail cannabis and the Maple Leaf Greenery to the town of Osoyoos. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Councillor King,
Yes.
Thank
there
you,
could
Madam
be
Mayor.
questions?
You
Yeah.
even identified the importance of the parking out back. Is that going to be an entrance for your customers?
The back? No, absolutely not.
Okay, just
No, that would be for receiving product and that kind of thing there. So it's not, I can't imagine having a truck stopping on Main Street and trying to get your stock. I don't, so all these stores, I'm going to guess, come from the back, right?
Okay, just asking. And have you applied for any other licenses in any other towns in the province?
Yep, New Westminster as well.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to sell my house in Maple Ridge and get a condo in New West and maybe one here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
And now we will have this open for the public. If anyone would like to come up and make a presentation, please come to the microphone, state your name and your address, and you would have 5 minutes. Is there anyone who would like to speak on this issue? I will ask 3 times then. Is there anyone who would like to speak on this issue? And for the 3rd time, is there anyone who would like to speak on this issue? Hearing none, I will declare that the meeting is adjourned at 4:22. Thank you very much, everyone.